Hey there, Gemini. This is a general reading in regards to love for you. We're starting here with the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck to get the overall energy of the person you're connecting with. What's their energy towards you, actually, and towards this connection with you. So that's what we're starting with for Gemini. Can you show us the energy of the person connecting with them? Growth. It says card number 5, which is the number 5 in tarot. It represents conflict. Actually, it represents which actually I don't know. Like it feels, well, obviously it's growth, so it feels like change is really what it comes down to. Something's growing, something's changing, for the positive or the negative. Just sort of a decision for things to move, you know. Sometimes we get stagnant or we feel like just kind of like we're stuck. And so this card talks about like that need to push forward. And so I feel like that's what's happening here. There's some kind of, there's change. They're looking for change. They're looking for expansion. But let's take a look now using the tarot, and you might resonate with that energy. Like we might have the energy reversed here. So if you feel like this side, resonates more for you, then take that as wow, I forgot where it's well, I mean, if it resonates for you, then take that as your truth is what I meant to say. So, let's go ahead now and use the tarot to find out how this person feels about you. Geez, I'm just really stumbling over my words right at this moment. I apologize. Gemini, how does this person feel about Gemini, please? How do they feel about Gemini? We get lots of cards. Okay, we get 3 cards. We get the Page of Pentacles, okay, the 7 of Swords, interesting, and the Page of Cups. 2 pages, there's like, with 2 pages, that strikes me as kind of immature, especially with the 7 of Swords in between, because the 7 of Swords is about deception. And maybe we're not like intentionally outright lying, but we're like maybe not being clear about our intentions, being a little bit deceptive here with the 7 of Swords, which I feel is immature. Okay. But then also 2 pages, it's just immature kind of energy. But pages definitely represent like the kind of the first step towards something, like not just an idea, there's more action behind it. There's more desire behind it, but definitely kind of the first step. I often describe the Page of Cups as someone who's dipping their toes into something. They're like, I'm curious, and they're want to explore it, more emotionally. Excuse me. Where the Page of Pentacles is also that curiosity. All the pages are very curious, but the Page of Pentacles is wanting to invest in something, really, it's something that they really want to learn more about because they think that they want to like commit themselves to it. So as far as feelings go, I feel like they're being a little bit immature, maybe a little bit not direct, like they're not being very direct in how they feel. They're being a little bit, they're kind of hiding it, but they're curious, very curious about you. Let's take a look at how you feel, Gemini. How do you feel about them? The Page of Cups is sometimes described as like a crush, having a crush on somebody. Let's see here. What do we get? We got the Queen of Pentacles, which is, Earth energy. So that's Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. You might be connecting with one of those signs, but not necessarily. Queen of Pentacles, I often see her as very like nurturing and protective, and maybe this is someone that I feel like this connection is not one that's well established. If it is, then it's like a well-established friendship. It doesn't feel like there's ever been something romantic here. This sort of energy is very nurturing, very comforting, okay? It, it doesn't often come across this way for me, but it feels more like, not like a parent, but sort of, like encouraging and warm, kind of energy. Also maybe a little bit of a focus on yourself, possibly. Um, well, we got the Ace of Pentacles and the Fool that came out as well. That's interesting. It just flipped right now. Oh, as I was thinking about this card here, and the Ace of Pentacles, that's like I mean, similar to the Page of Pentacles, wanting to start something new. So this growth energy might, like I said, it might resonate more for you, but the Ace and the Fool, yeah, this is definitely wanting to start something, wanting to explore something, really wanting to just dive into it. With that Ace of Pentacles here, this is thinking it might be something you could be committed to, thinking it might be something you could invest yourself in. That's interesting because I usually take the Queen of Pentacles as more like that, like I'm committed to this and I want to explore it, and also very nurturing and very like all of that, but also like a commitment towards that somebody. But I was kind of feeling more like this is like a dedication to self, if that makes any kind of sense. And I don't know, I don't usually get that vibe from the Queen of Pentacles, but that is how I feel. But yeah, the Ace and the Fool, that's definitely wanting to start something, wanting to begin a path. This is like very, very start, really wanting to start something fresh and new. And with the Fool, really just give it your all, dive into it, trust it, and let it happen, So let's take a look at what they want. What are they hoping for? What are they hoping for in this connection? The person connecting with Gemini, what are they hoping for? What are they looking for next in this connection? What are they hoping for? The Five of Wands, which is a card of excuse me, conflict. Like I was saying, it's a 5, and 5s in tarot represent like that conflict kind of energy. And so this could be like literal fighting, but the Five of Wands is competition specifically is how I take it. Or maybe it involves other people is what I mean to say, not just you and them. Okay. It involves other people, but this could be a desire to fight for something, or it could be like literally fighting. But as the Five of Wands, I take it as something they really want. I mean, it means a lot to them. And so they want to fight for it. First off, they want to try to become victorious. So they're going to fight for it. They're going to put effort behind it. We also get the Queen of Swords. I did a reading yesterday for Gemini, and these two cards came out in their hopes, and it's just interesting for the same two cards to come out again in a different Gemini reading. But the Queen of Swords here is your energy. That's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy right there. So it could be that they're hoping to fight with you. It could be that they're hoping to fight for you, if that is what this Queen of Swords represents, you specifically. But the Queen of Swords is also just somebody who they do come across as very cautious, okay? And this energy here comes across as kind of cautious. And definitely curious, definitely, like I said, like they have a crush and they want to explore it further, but they're just dipping their toes into it. And this Queen of Swords is very guarded. She's very guarded, and she's curious. I mean, she wants more. She wants to experience more, but she feels that her excuse me, that her boundaries are very important. So she puts those up to protect herself. So I feel like what they want for this connection is for it to move forward. Like they want to fight for you, or they want to fight for it. Okay. But also feeling guarded, just feeling like they need to protect themselves a bit. Let's take a look at what you want. What does Gemini want? What are you hoping for next in this connection? I just keep getting this very independent vibe off this Queen of Pentacles. And like I said, I don't normally get that. I get that. I don't normally get that vibe off of this card in any deck, really. That like very independent feeling, but that's what I just keep getting, this very independent nature from you. But then this desire to start something, to begin something, to really dive into it. It's just interesting. It keeps pulling me back in, Gemini. Let's see, what does Gemini hope for within this connection with this person? What are they hoping for with this person? What do they want to happen next? We get the Queen of Cups and the Two of Swords. That is the Queen of Cups. I mean, that's water energy. You might be dealing with a water sign. That is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But the Queen of Cups, that is, excuse me, sometimes forgiveness. She represents just love without like requirements. What is that? I mean, it's called unconditional love, but that isn't, love without requirements isn't the right way to phrase what I'm thinking either. She accepting. She's just it's very accepting energy. And I actually feel like that's what you're looking for. You're hoping for this kind of energy with somebody, this kind of like accepting and kind of open. She has a very open heart, and she is forgiving if that's necessary. She's accepting. She's just very open energy and very, very deep. Okay. And so I feel like that's that's kind of what you're looking for here, what you're hoping to find. Also with the Two of Swords, there's some kind of decision that needs to be made, and you're wanting that decision to be made. You maybe want the answer to be made obvious to you, because in the Two of Swords, it's not that we can't decide, actually. It's sometimes we can't see that the question exists. Sometimes we refuse to see it. We refuse to look at it. We refuse to make that choice because that is too hard, But excuse me, I feel like you want the choice to be made. You want to make a choice, which can be very hard to do sometimes. It can be very hard to embrace our decisions because we're afraid that we're making the wrong choice, But I feel like you really just want to make that choice. You want to, like that full energy, that's what you're feeling. You just want to give into it. You want to make the choice. You want to have and experience this like open connection with someone and meet someone who's accepting and vulnerable and genuine kind of energy there. Let's see here. What is it that Gemini could do to help this person? If Gemini knows who they are and wants to help them, what can they do? What can Gemini do to help this person? That's a lot of cards to flip. That's a lot of cards to flip. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups, which again is an ace. So that's like a new beginning. And if this is somebody you already know, then the Ace of Cups would be like opening your heart to them, opening that door, allowing that opportunity. And if this is something that's gone bad and you're like trying to rekindle it, then this would be what it's suggesting you do for this person. Again, this is advice if you wanted to help this person. Opening yourself up to them is step one. Judgment. See, judgment implies that there's something you need to let go of, that there's something that you're holding on to, something that is negative that you're holding on to, and it holds you back from moving forward and opening yourself up completely and in a true and genuine way. The Judgment card is a release. I mean, if you look at her, it looks like she's setting something free, and it's about acceptance and acceptance and release. So it implies here that there's something that you need to accept. It happened how it happened, and It is what it is, and all of that experience brought you to this moment, made you who you are, and let yourself re- release it, and release whatever hold it has on you, is really what that's saying. The Page of Wands is very excited energy. As far as advice, it's like, give into that passion. If you're asking a question, this is a yes answer, do it, have fun, feed your passions, feed those fires. If there's something that you've really wanted to do and you've been holding back from it, you really want to do something here, this would be, go do it, chase after it, find it, feed it and help it grow. The Six of Wands is a card of victory. It's another yes card, in case you have a lot of yeses laying here. If you were wondering, this one as well, the Four of Wands, are just a lot of positive energy. Excuse me. The Six of Wands, in this moment, it may be to give praise to somebody, like give praise to this person. If you've been holding back, if you haven't been sharing your positive feelings towards them, your positive thoughts of them, then you might want to do this. It might also be acknowledgement of your own worth, okay? Like a celebration of who you are and how far you've come, and everything that has built up to make you who you are. The Six of Wands can sometimes be representing that. Yeah, and the Four of Wands. See, I just feel like the Four of Wands is also, and the Judgment. Like this whole message here is like, be appreciative of where you've come from. Like everything that's led to this moment, and it makes you who you are, and it makes this life the life that you have. All of the great things in it, those all come with whatever bad you've experienced in the past, okay? Or whatever bad you may be feeling right at this moment. Whatever it is, all of that was a part of all of the good that you were also experiencing. And I just feel like there's this giant call to like appreciate everything, be grateful for it, and also a lot of hope. I mean, Judgment, Page of Wands, Four of Wands, all cards, even Ace of Cups, all of those are very hopeful energy, very like future, like bright future kind of energy there. And just all of this advice is, and also possibly with the Four of Wands, might be like an encouragement to like look to your community and your friends and like have a good time with them and celebrate with them, and maybe bring this person into that as well if they aren't already. But this is really just about, there's so much positivity here. If you're letting yourself be held back by something from your past, if you don't even maybe realize that this person is, no, I don't know. I don't think that's the case, but if you need to forgive them for something, then they want you to forgive them. And you know what? You should forgive them for yourself, not for them, but for yourself, because it releases you. That's part of what that Judgment is. It's releasing yourself from negative emotions. And when you forgive someone, it's actually releasing you. Did I just say that? I think I just repeated myself. Can I please get advice for Gemini? If they could help themselves, what can they do to help themselves? Can I get advice? Although all of this would be very beneficial for you. Can I get a card? What can Gemini do to help themselves? I think I mentioned, yes, that I did a reading yesterday for Gemini. And the energy was very similar. It's interesting to find it again. The Knight of Swords and the King of Cups. We have both the King and the Queen of Cups on your side of the table at this point. Yeah, that stands out as important. But the Knight of Swords, this is someone who's very dedicated, very committed. The Knight of Swords like picks a destination, and he's got this like beeline focus towards it, So this also represents truth. So whatever your truth is, whatever it is that you want, make this choice that you want to make, and like, go for it, whatever it is. We also get this King of Cups, which is this very similar energy to the Queen of Cups. Very open, very accepting, very loving. Open yourself up. Open yourself up. And be forgiving, be accepting. The King of Cups is very emotionally stable, very supportive. You know, you can lean on him and he can handle it. He's just very, very emotionally stable. And when it comes out as advice, you're being advised to step into that energy, you know, be supportive, be that kind of balance for somebody. It's also a card of unconditional love, you know, like the Queen of Cups there. And it is interesting that this is in your hopes and then this is in your advice. This is, whether you're male or female or interested in male or female, doesn't really matter. These two are they're equals. They come in at the same level. They come in with the same energy. They are the opposite of, I mean, you know, the male and female, I don't know, I'm using the wrong words, but they're meant for each other, these two. And like, if you're wanting to find this, if you're wanting to draw this in, if you're wanting this in your future, then you have to step into the equal energy of it, the equal and opposite energy of it, right? Or it's not opposite exactly, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying here. You have to be the balance to it, you know. Otherwise, if you're not, then when it comes in, you won't be ready. You know, you'll be here instead of here, and so you have to really like step into that energy is what you're being called to do. So, whew, that was a lot. I don't know if it's this person. I gotta say, I think it might be. Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable that their feelings right now are so immature and deceptive that would bother me. I'm sorry if you're a cross watcher. I'm so sorry, but this is how it's coming across in this moment. You know, we're only looking at a glimpse here, really. But that makes me nervous because this sort of energy doesn't kind of match this sort of energy, if that makes sense. So I don't really know if this is that person. But maybe they're feeling all of this because of something that's happened between you or something that hasn't happened between you that they're hoping for. You know, holding ourselves back also contributes to our energy, okay, and can contribute to it in a negative way. There are moments when we have to hold ourselves back, and that's what's right for us. And we do it, and that supports our spirit and that supports our energy. But when we're holding ourselves back for any reason other than to help ourselves, then that begins to have a negative impact on us and on our energy and on our spirit. And so if they're coming across this way because they're wanting something, especially, I mean, we have this growth as their energy. That's wanting change, wanting things to move forward. So if they are feeling stuck, that may explain why they look a little bit confrontational over here, and maybe like their energy is lowered at the moment. So maybe they will, if you can manage to achieve these things, you know, be grateful for everything. It's really, there's just so much call for gratitude and opening yourself up, like really release the past and open yourself up. And maybe that will help the two of you even out and you can be whatever you were meant to be, possibly. Excuse me. At least the highest version of it, you know? Okay, I'm going to get advice now from 2 additional oracle decks here. Thank you very much for watching this reading. I hope it makes sense for you. I hope it resonates. I hope it makes sense, really, and that you understand the advice and you see yourself in the story. But if you did enjoy it, and if it did resonate, I'd love to hear about it. You could like the video or post a comment if you feel comfortable doing so. Can we get advice for Gemini, please? Also, if you want to see more of my readings in the future, then it helps if you subscribe, because my readings will be more likely to show up in your feed. So if you feel like you want to do that. Advice for Gemini? I don't feel like I usually struggle with Gemini readings, but Geminis, do seem to have complicated situations a lot. I don't know. Maybe that's just the Geminis that I like connect with or something, but yeah. But this reading was a little bit challenging. And there's a nobility to those who do not let neediness or desperation compromise who they are. Yeah, that's an interesting message. It's saying don't be needy or desperate is what it's saying. I mean, own who you are, and like who you are is great. And if like somebody else can't see that, if that's not obvious to them, then like you don't need them. You really don't. That sounds maybe mean to say, and it may be hard to hear, but it is the truth. If someone doesn't see the value in you, then you don't need them in your life. You definitely don't, and you should seek out someone else. Neediness and desperation, that speaks to your own self-worth, you know, and by behaving that way, you're saying that you're accepting lower value. You're implying and putting a lower value on yourself than what is true. So all of that sounds really mean. I feel like I just said a bunch of really mean stuff. So I'm very sorry. I didn't mean it in a mean way. Just recognize your worth. Recognize your worth, and don't let yourself give in to the temptation to be needy and desperate. And you know what? If that's what you're seeing from this person, like if this feels like it resonates more towards the person you're dealing with, like then they have some self-worth issues. And you know, you can try to help people with self-worth issues. You can pour into them and tell them over and over how great they are and how wonderful and how beautiful or attractive or whatever. You can do that, but until they believe it themselves, they won't believe you. They'll like that you're saying it, they'll enjoy it, they'll appreciate it, but they won't believe it. And so that is something that they need to focus on within themselves if that's what you're finding yourself facing in this situation. I've also talked a lot this reading. I'm very sorry. We got two cards. This deck here is called the Wild Wisdom Australia. They're very colorful and very pretty. We got Wombat, which says inner child, and Rainbow Lorikeet, which says love language. And I'm not super familiar with this deck. It's newer to me. I think that this love language card is not exactly what it appears to be. But I'm going to read both of them. I'm going to read a bit from both to you. So Wombat, inner child, it says, do you feel misunderstood by your family or those around you? It's time to educate people as to who you really are. Wombat energy connects you with the talent, strength, and wisdom that are often overlooked. It is up to you whether you show this side of yourself, and you may want it to stay in the shadows a little longer as long as this has been your comfort zone. Wombat's appearance encourages you to reveal your truth. I think that's interesting because I really felt like this was very independent energy. It felt very independent, like you were a bit focused on yourself, and maybe not that you don't care about this person, like you have kind of a nurturing and kind of protective energy towards them, but this felt like self-focused. And then this Ace of Pentacles and this Fool came out, and I don't know, the whole thing just feels like your own journey, your own path a little bit, oddly, because we were asking about this other person. Maybe it involves them in some way, but it does feel very centered on self. I don't mean like self-centered, but centered on self, which we all are self-centered to some degree, but that's okay. That's normal. You should be the center of your world, in my opinion. But Rainbow Lorikeet love language. You can often find Rainbow Lorikeet hanging upside down or sideways when they eat. They fly into your world to ask you to look at life from a different perspective. You can create something magical with a shift in attitude. Have a sense of humor to lighten the mood if you have been a bit stressed. There are always other options, so make time to think creatively. The Rainbow Lorikeet is great at dispelling negative energy and giving you the courage to embrace new territories. That Ace of Pentacles and that Fool, this is what I'm saying here. It's also a symbol of love. If you have not yet met your soulmate, this colorful bird is a sign that you may do so soon. And see, I kind of felt like maybe you don't want to hear this. I'm so sorry if you're a cross watcher and you really don't want to hear this, but I kind of feel like the message here is possibly that there might be, if you can step into this energy, that you might find your balance. You might find your equivalent. You might find that person that actually, you know, meshes with you and comes in at your level. And anyway, that is the whole reading I have for you today, Gemini. Thank you so much for watching. Um, I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I hope I see you back here in the future. Bye.